Alhamdulillah. Glad we are alive. Assalamu alaikum, guys. Apologies again. Alright, assalamu alaikum. This is your weekly Quran podcast. I'm Ustaz Hamza and you're here to learn Quran. And we're here to discuss some important Quranic topics, especially what's happening in New Zealand and all sort of other topics, inshallah ta'ala. I really hope Okay, we'll be starting the Quran podcast, inshallah ta'ala, and I will be teaching you some Quran today. Give me 1 second, I'm trying to set up my YouTube. Looks like there's something that went wrong. I'm just trying to fix it. Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me live on YouTube? Okay, wa alaikum assalam. So the first one there, Halima, can you please tell me what happened exactly? I mean, I'm live. You see the one that's saying upcoming, it's not live. It happens for the second time. That's right, guys. Waiting for Ustad. Come on, man. It keeps happening again and again. So I set up a stream and then I try to start it. It doesn't start. Then I have to go live randomly somewhere. Anyway, assalamu alaikum. Glad you guys are here. Apologies, guys. I know some of you, well, most of you, Quran podcast. Let's just call it. I don't know why on earth I couldn't go live with the same link. It's so annoying. Stream. Let me try one more time because I gave that link to a lot of people. For those of you live on TikTok, we'll be starting a Quran podcast very soon. Something have to go wrong every week. Alhamdulillah, we're learning. The more we learn, the better we'll get. See, I wanted to go live here. Edit. Don't get it. Why is it not going live? Oh, might need to speak to an expert or something later. Chalo. We're live anyway, we're live. Just gonna try one more thing. Edit. Okay. Glad. Okay, I'm glad you're here on a new stream, guys, and I'm really sorry. I mean, this YouTube stream right now should not be titled like this. I know you guys were somewhere else. Send an email link to those from yesterday. Yeah, you see, if I start doing that, then we're never gonna start. But I'm glad we started here. I'm just gonna edit. Well, you know what? Yeah. Let's just start. Alright. Bismillahi wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma alimna ma yanfa'una wa zidna ilma. If I can quickly go and cancel the stream that I set up yesterday, that would be great because I don't want people to be coming live there. I mean, generally if people come to my YouTube right now, they'll be able to see me live anyway. Yeah, so I'm just gonna delete this forever, and this is very sad, guys. Okay, welcome. I see a lot of you live. Welcome, ahlan wa sahlan. It will help if you hit the like and share button. And I get a lot of questions asked all the time about Quran, so we're gonna try to answer most of them, and we're gonna start off inshallah ta'ala with the recitation, and this is going to be the most important aspect of our podcast. I want to be teaching you guys Quran, and that is important. So if I can start off, inshallah ta'ala, by teaching you some verses. I think I put myself on mute by mistake. I hope my audio is nice and clear. I'm going to bring up the mic a little bit closer, just in case there's a fly that fly by and then you guys can't hear me then. Okay, for those of you live on TikTok, guys, you might want to tune in live on my YouTube. It's way better. Yeah, you get to see the full screen and it's much better. So try it out, inshallah ta'ala, live on my YouTube. Okay, the mic is right here. This is quite odd because I've got my phone and the mic so close to each other. Chalo. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Correct me, we're starting from verse number 9. Yeah? We're starting from verse number 9. Sorry, verse number 10. Verse number 10. But we're going to start from حسبت anyway. So verse number 9 and then 10. حسبت. My bad, guys. I realize I'm not sharing my screen yet. Okay. There we go. There we go. We're starting from here, verse number 8 and then 9. أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجب إذ أوى الفتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. Right. Well, I recited here 2 verses from Surah Al-Kahf. Okay. Now, the theme of this podcast is that we teach a few verses of Surah Al-Kahf because this is a surah a lot of you recite every week, so I wanted to start off with the surah that is commonly read. Okay. So as I read these verses, I can see you might have a lot of questions here. I want you to notice where I stop because this is a question I get a lot. I said وَالرَّقِيمِ and I said فَقَالُوا رَبَّنَا. Notice I want to do it one more time. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm going to do it one more time. أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم. And I repeat. والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجب إذ أوى الفتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ. One more time. إذ أوى الفتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة. I didn't stop again. إذ أوى الفتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا. Stop. فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. When I'm stopping the Quran and there are no stopping signs such as this sign, stopping signs such as this sign, I create my own points or places where I can stop. How do I do that? I look for wow and I stop at a word or 2 after it. I look at fa and I stop at a word or 2 words after it. If I do that, then number 1, I'll be stopping correctly. Number 2, the meaning of the verse won't be misunderstood. Yeah? The meaning of the verse will not be misunderstood. This is very important. Why? Because a lot of you are non-Arabs. Now, if someone who understands Arabic, they listen to you, and you stop at a place where the sentence doesn't make sense anymore, then there will be a problem. It will be as if we are misquoting Quran, yeah, or misrepresenting Quran. So, for example, I say to you, I say to you, an example, Halima punished Marwa. And everyone is like, oh my god, Halima is bad, but I stopped here and then I continue and I say, in her dreams. You see, just because I paused there, what happened there, that everyone misunderstood my sentence. You see, so pauses make a lot of difference. The way you pause when you recite Quran matters a lot. Okay, so this is very important. I'm going to go back to these verses and try to answer a lot of questions you guys have. When I see one of your questions online, I try to keep the question in my mind for as long as I can. I can sometimes make a quick video about it, but that's not the case most of the time. So what I do, keep the question in my mind, and if the question gets asked again and again and again, I will answer it. So today, inshallah ta'ala, I will be answering some of your most common questions that I get asked all the time, including what Quran do you use, where can I get access to it, okay? Yalla. Barakallahu feekum. I see some of you very helpful in the comment. Guys, it will help if you like and share the video. This is an absolutely free podcast. We're not even mentioning the name of the sponsor, so don't worry. We're not advertising anyone or anything. Yalla. Next, other than Quran. Now, if I look at this first word here, I'm reading it as hasibta. We are bouncing by here. Hasibta. We call this Tajweed. You learn this so you can articulate Quran in a right way. Hasibta. And we call this Ghunna. Continue. Ashab al-Kahfi. Now, everything that I'm doing on these specific letters, you do the same if you see the letter in the same place at the same position. For example, every time you see a ba with the sukoon, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to bounce it. When I was learning Quran, no one would dare to say to a teacher, can you tell me the Tajweed rule? No. If we bounce ba once and we bounce it again and again, we know every time ba is silent. What do? We bounce it. Yeah? Simple. And every time I see a noon, then I see a shadda on top of it, I do the sound. Let's keep it very simple, guys. Okay, next. Every time I see sad with the sukoon, I'm supposed to whisper it. Ashab al-Kahfi. Ashab al-Kahfi. Okay. For those of you who can't read Arabic, I've got a solution for you. Stay with me. Ashab al-Kahfi. Every time I see a ha with the sukoon on top, I'm supposed to whisper it. Now you see, when you do that a lot of times in Quran, you automatically know these rules. You don't have to know the rules. You just end up implementing them. Isn't that interesting? You don't need to know the rules. وَالرَّقِيمِ كَانُوا مِنْ آيَاتِنَا عَجَبًا. Let me explain this one. This word is ajaban, but we're reading it as ajaba. Here, this word. Ajaba. Why? The rule says every time there is fathatain and alif next to it like this, if we stop at this verse, then what you have to do, you cancel one of the fathas and you end up reading it as ba rather than ban. And this happens to every time there is a letter with fathatain. Juruzan becomes juruza. Juruzan becomes juruza. Next. أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا. I'm just thinking if there's any other rule that I need to teach you here. Next. إذ أوى الفتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا. Which letter in this word am I going to be whispering? Let's see. Who got an answer? Who's going to tell us an answer here? Kahfi. Which letter here is going to be bounced or whispered? Ha, well done. So this is the same rule that applying from this word kahfi. So for the person who said they can't read Quran, you see a lot of time people, because they don't know how to read Quran, they think it's hard. It's actually quite easy. Look at this word. Most words in Quran are repetitive. Most letters in Quran are repetitive. It's the same 28 letters. You see them everywhere all the time. You master pronunciation of these letters and you become the boss. Sorry. Then you become a good reciter of Quran. How simple is that? Yeah? Where can I find previous lectures, someone said? We'll show you where. I'll show you all of that. Yeah? At the moment, focus on the lesson. Focus. I know you have an urge to click something else, swipe, do whatever, but focus. If you focus, I'll give you £10. I'll give you £50 in your imagination. Okay. فَقَالُوا رَبَّنَا. Qaf is read as a full mouth letter. فَقَالُوا. We don't say فَكَالُوا. فَقَالُوا. فَقَالُوا رَبَّنَا آتِنَا مِن لَدُنكَ رَحْمَةً وَهَيِّئْ. Hamza is a strong letter. Look what it does here. وَهَيِّئْ لَنَا مِنْ أَمْرِنَا رَشَدًا. وَهَيِّئْ لَنَا. Now when I say a strong letter, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm bouncing it, guys. That's not what it means. Yeah, I'm not bouncing it. I'm reading as وَهَيِّئْ لَنَا. So that hiccup there means it's a strong letter. Otherwise, if it was a weak letter, for example, look what happens to sin. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Is Qaf always read as a full mouth letter? Bob asks. I like questions like this, Bob. Question relevant to the topic we're talking about. Bob? Take my plant, Bob. Well done, Bob. A plant for Bob in Quran podcast. MashaAllah. Now, have a look at this. For those of you asking all the previous ones, you see, I'm on my YouTube right now. Videos, short, live. Go to live section. You can find all the previous podcasts here. Now, I cut them into nice clips called playlist, and it's called Quran podcast. Some of these clips, I cut them from the podcast and I uploaded them. I had to face a disaster last week. My iMovies crashed, the app that I used to edit my videos. It was a disaster because I had so many projects, and the whole file, the whole library was about 400 and about 500 gigabytes. Anyway, if there's anyone who's an iMovie expert, just DM me on Instagram. You would be doing a great service. We'll pay you for your time. Alright, guys. So going back to someone said Qaf, is it a full mouth letter? So to answer that, Qaf is a full mouth letter when you see it like this, when you see it with the fatha on top. Full mouth letters come on different stages. We have full mouth letters that are like Qaf with the kasra qi, Qaf with the dhamma qu, Qaf with the fatha qa, Qaf with the fatha with alif is qa. Now qi is not same as qa, is it? Is it? It's not. It's not. It will never be. What if there is an alif at the ayah, at the ending? Okay, I'll explain that. So what do we do here? Good question. Ajaban becoming ajaba, rashadan becoming rashada. The rule is you must silent the last letter. You must silent the last letter. Or the last letter that you stop at must be silent. For example, for me to teach you, everyone here have to be quiet. If everyone is talking, messing about, then I won't be able to. Guys, I think there's so many of you watching this live stream, but I only have few likes. I don't know, it's like, do you guys hate me? We can fight. By the way, forgot to mention the background. Look at the background. Brother called Mimat. Help me. Nice, isn't it? Look at this yellow thing going on here. I got sun in my room. Okay. Bouncing and heavy letters. So have a look at this. The same letter can be bouncing letter and can be a full mouth letter. For example, كذلك وقد أحطنا. I can find example in my mind before I actually look at it and find it by looking at the Quran. Have a look at this particular كذلك وقد أحطنا. Where's it gone? Yeah. Look at this word here. أحطنا. Bounces and is also a full mouth letter. كذلك وقد أحطنا. كذلك وقد أحطنا. Yeah? Look at that. It bounces and is also a full mouth letter. Someone saying, I'm a big fan of yours. And I think this person is actually a big fan. They joined my classes. So, for those of you who are serious and who want to learn these things properly, I've got an offer for you at the end. Welcome, Hamza. Welcome. I hope you're behaving at home. I hope you are. I'm sure you are. Okay? Now, Ustad, I struggle with the transition from full mouth letter to empty mouth. Any advice? So we're going to do this right now. We're going to do this right now, guys. Yeah? Okay. So have a look at this. Thanks, Fanny, for sharing. Guys, for those of you on TikTok, like the phone is right at the bottom there, and I'm finding it very hard to like reply to your comments or to like or anything. But thanks very much for sharing. 8 of you have shared this video. It would be nice if about 50 of you shared this video. Just send it randomly to people. We'll reach more people. It'll help us reach more people. So have a look at this. This is something a lot of people struggle with. كذلك وقد أحطنا. أحطنا. How am I doing this? It's because I drink coffee. No. أحطنا. أحطنا. You do that by training your mouth. So I'm gonna do this here. Guys, those of you on TikTok, maybe I'll just keep the phone here for now. Okay. Thing is, I'm trying to show you guys the screen and myself. I can do that on YouTube. I can't do that on TikTok. So if you go to my YouTube, you'll be able to see me and my screen. I'm speaking to guys on TikTok. Okay. So have a look at this. أحطنا. Do it very slow. أحطنا. When you're learning qaida, when you're learning spelling, you are supposed to, someone should supposed to teach you what is a full mouth letter. So when you practice it, first time when you practice ta, you don't read it as ta. Once you know the full mouth letters in your mind, when you see the word, as soon as you see the word, you can see how you're going to read it before you actually read it. If that makes sense. كذلك وقد أحطنا. I can see the word in my mind before I even say it. And then practice. So a lot of my students, a lot of my followers, they have the basics wrong. Someone didn't teach them, someone was supposed to teach them, but then he or she used to come to teach you in the house, but what they do instead is have the samosa. I was told this story, I'll tell you the story. You guys are gonna like it. So this a friend of mine had a cousin, nice guy. I said to him, how is it Quran? He said, oh yeah, we have a teacher coming to our house. I said, okay, just because teacher coming to your house doesn't mean your Quran learning is going somewhere. He said, well, the teacher comes and my mom makes tea stuff, and mashallah, when I used to go house to house and teach, although something I didn't really like, but chalo, back then it was fine. I don't do that anymore. Right, so most houses, when you go, they're very hospitable. Like they bring tea, coffee, not that I ask or demand, but they bring it anyway. Some houses they would do more than others, but so he said, the cousin, he said my teacher would come, have his tea and have the chai, put the phone on charge. First thing he would do, put the phone on charge, and he said while he is listening to us, he said he used to like tell us aggressively, read. And he said we would read and he would fall asleep. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Isn't that interesting? Huh? So, some of you were taught like that. So I don't know what you learned then, because if your teacher just ate samosa and slept, and he's doing that every time, I don't know what you learned. But what I'm saying is that if you don't have your basics right, you're gonna struggle a lot. So here's the thing, guys. Look, when you struggle with Quran and you're trying, but there's no professional help, what help? You give up very quick. You say, oh, I tried everything. I've been doing Tajweed. I had a brother sign up to my Tajweed program, and he was in Tajweed classes, and then I realized that he's not supposed to be. He said he need to learn spelling, and when I tested him, I realized that he recognized letters wrong. So if you recognize letters wrong, if you don't even know letters and then you're trying to read, you see, so there is a massive gap. So you need to fill in that gap. So inshallah ta'ala, what do you mean by professional help? It means joining classes that can actually help you. We call this qaida. So I'm going to show you something here. So you look at this word here. This word is ahatuna. TikTok. I have to pick the phone and then press that button called flip camera. Chalo. Look at this word ahatuna. Before I even tell you how to read this word correctly, something happened wrong on TikTok, guys. I don't know if you guys can see me or you guys can see the Quran page. Can you please help me here? Okay, there we go. Now you can. Ahatuna. So this word is ahatuna. So someone would come and say, okay, Ustad, can you teach me how to do it properly? Ahatuna. I'll teach you, I'll train you. Then I go away, and the next day you're reading this word. You don't know how to read this word. You don't know how to spell it. Why is it ahatuna? Why is it not ahatuna? Why is it ahatuna? Because noon has an alif next to it. Ahatuna. So you gotta learn what? You gotta learn spelling first. So this word here, for example, there's not much tajweed I can teach you here, because everyone knows how to pronounce ba and meen properly. Ba with the kasra b, meen fatha with the alif sukun ma, bima. Bima. You see that? So you gotta know the difference. So first you learn spelling, and that's like a skeleton. So I don't know how to draw a skeleton, but I'm gonna try. First you perfect the skeleton first. I picked the wrong example now. I just have to get along with it. And then you dress up by putting tajweed on top, and then finally you can put a crown on top when you can memorize it. MashaAllah. That's a very bad example there. I have to remove it. Okay? My brother, assalamu alaikum assalam. I'm still afraid of making mistakes when I read Quran. Join a class. Yeah? It doesn't have to be me. You can find a lot of teachers. Read with the teacher, in presence of a teacher. Yeah? Okay. Tips for teaching under fives. अरे भाई ये कैसे सवाल हो रहे हैं? Alright, under 5. Have fun. Have fun rather than lecturing them. Have fun. Let them walk around, move around, play around, and play and read. Let them play around, walk around, and then read a little bit. Yeah. Discipline. So let's talk about a few important topics before I take more of your questions. Inshallah ta'ala, I'm glad that we were able to cover 2 verses from this surah right at the beginning of the podcast, after we flopped once again starting our I set the stream on my phone, and then here it's telling me go live with your phone. I said no, I want to go live on the computer. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad. So if I continue, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to talk about Quran in Norway. This might be shocking to some of you, but do you know Muslims ban Quran as well? How many of you knew that? Be honest. How many of you know that even Muslims ban Quran? Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Ustad, how can you say that? This is so haram. Alright? Looks like few of you know. So, the reason we ban Quran, because this is the most respectable way of disposing Quran. For example, you have Quran and it's ripped and you can't really use it, or if you use it, you're going to rip it more. So what do we do with that Quran? There are few ways of I don't want to say get rid of it. There are few ways of dealing with that. One of the things that people used to do and still do, Quran printing press in Madinah, Mujamma al-Quran. They have a massive place where they have all the old Qurans and they ban them. The reason they do that, because when you ban words of Allah and they're written, so now they're gone. The written thing is gone when you burn it. You have a paper, you write something on it, when you burn it, it's gone. So it's not left anywhere random, or people step on it, or people it's on the floor. You got rid of it. The few other ways are people used to bury Quran, but then here's the thing: if I bury Quran on a like in a park somewhere, there'll be people walking over it. So I wouldn't just bury it anyway. So that's one of the ways of disposing Quran. The other way is, and one of my teachers did that, English teacher, not a Quran teacher. He was learning Quran in Morocco, and they used to write Quran before they memorize it. I want to talk about something very interesting here. I know some of you are new, or you haven't learned Quran, or you're new to Quran. You're going to find this very interesting. So listen to this. They used to write Quran. So listen to the teacher reciting, and they would write it and they would memorize it. And it was a slate. They would write it on a piece of wood. They would write it, memorize it, and what did they do then? After that, they would wash it. Now, we're talking about Quran. We talk about respect of Quran, Like, subhanallah, I would not put Quran up there on a shelf. I have Quran here on this shelf. You should have Quran placed in a respectable place in the house, in the highest place, in a place where people won't give it its back. A lot of times you go to places. Now, by the way, that's not Quran. You see that calligraphy written there? It's not Quran. So calm down. You gotta have Quran placed in a respectable place. You gotta show some extra respect. So back to my teacher, when they wash that, the water that is coming from that slate, because Quran is written with it, they would not just chuck the water anyway. They would go to a place, maybe under the tree, where people are not really, walking, or, by, and they would dump the water under the ground, because the water here is used to wash verses of Quran. So banning Quran is not something new. Now, what happened there in New Zealand was symbolic, right? Now the thing is, when people are ignoraneous, trying to steal Muhammad Hijab's words, when they are ignorant and they have a very little brain that cannot be seen, and they have, how can you say, the person now, for example, I'm not going to take my shirt off in this podcast because I have self-respect. I don't want people to see me as, as someone, mindless. When people have no self-respect, so there's something called self-image. So when you close your eyes, you see yourself in a certain way. Even when people look into mirror, it's not what they're seeing in the mirror, it's the way they're seeing themselves. That's why people like filters. Oh, I'm pretty. Oh, I'm handsome, so I'm going to use this filter because I am. You know it's a filter. It's fake, but you use that. So self-image, very important. So if I look at myself, if I close my eyes and I imagine myself and I see nothing but a loser. If I close my eyes and I look at myself and I say, what a loser, then I'll just do anything. And that's what sometimes people do online. Oh, I don't care. So basically, they need help. They need serious help because they think of themselves as no one. So going back to this guy who burnt Quran, he thinks doing that will do anything to Quran. And little he understood or realized that it's actually not going to do anything. But in fact, I watched a recent video of Muhammad Hijab about it. Last time it happened, people got so that's what he want to do. He want to trigger people. He want to get people angry. Everyone got so angry, they donated so much money that they end up building a mosque. How about that anger? Anger issues. I have anger issues, and I direct them to something useful. Yeah. So subhanallah. So that's what's happening. The more of these events take place, people burn Quran, people insult Islam. Someone in the public is going to say, "Hold on, why are they doing that?" And I'm going to give you an example here. Sain Ali is asking a question here. Imagine I come to this live podcast and first thing I say, guys, Sain is a bad guy. Sain Ali, okay, I don't know if it's a guy or girl. Sain is bad. Sain is so bad. Never listen to Sain. Guys, Sain, block him right now. Everyone here is going to get a little curious. They're going to say, oh, why does Ustad is obsessed with Sain? Guys, those of you on TikTok, can you see my video, by the way? Can you see my video? Give me a yes. Can you hear me? You guys are going to get curious. So exactly, when people insult and people burn, when they do those things to Quran, what ends up happening? People get more curious toward the religion of Islam. It's a win-win situation. But yeah, you as a Muslim, you don't want to be among those who disrespect Quran. Again, few tips. You place Quran in a high place. When you're reading Quran, you should not be doing anything else. That's one of the okay, thank you very much, Riyadh, for pointing out that. Thank you. You see, I wouldn't know. Alright, we're just gonna start again. It's showing me 10 people are watching and then nothing else. And so, you as a Muslim, you should be like the person of Quran. Carry the Quran, learn Quran, respect Quran. No Muslim should have an excuse that I can't read Quran, I don't know Quran, I don't understand Quran, I don't have time for Quran. So if you see someone like that, and you get all upset, then utilize that. Yeah, ask yourself this question: I'm burning here, seeing someone burning Quran, but how much of Quran do I know? Yeah. So the other thing about Quran, the writing of Quran is taken from someone who memorized it. Allah did not send a book, like written book. Allah Azza wa Jal sent spoken words, the words that Allah spoke. So when Quran descended to the Prophet ﷺ, it was narrated. Allah Azza wa Jal narrated these words to Jibreel. Angel Jibreel came to the Prophet ﷺ, and then the Prophet ﷺ, he learned how to read. It wasn't written in the first place. I'm going to make a very interesting point here, and I'm going to make a video about this. S.Hamza Yusuf had a very, very, very interesting points that he made about this new technology that is coming up, AI and all of that. Very, very interesting one. I'm going to make a video about this because I took some notes and I think this is very useful. And he said that in his talk, he was mentioning a play. It's like a story, call it. And in the story, now listen to this because this is unique. I never thought of it like that. This inventor, he comes up with the invention that is called pen, and he comes in front of the king and he says, "King, this is a revolutionary technology. This pen is going to change the way people write Quran, people write knowledge, people do all these interesting things." The king said to him, "It's not on you to tell us the amazing things about technology, because if you come up with the good technology, of course, with the technology, you're going to say it's good." Then king said to him, "In fact, I think that the knowledge will be lost because of this technology." Think about this. People will be writing rather than memorizing. People will rely on the writing rather than relying on the person. So the invention of pen, yeah, the pen itself, the fact that we can write things makes us what? Less attentive. Yeah? The fact that this stream is going to be available for you to watch later, what do most people do? Yeah, I'll go and do something else and I'll watch this later. I'm not trying to pick on people who don't have time or who have something else planned at this time. But the moment you rely on technology or invention, you stop relying on yourself, your amazing things that are within you, things that you are gifted with. You stop relying on the resources Allah have given you. And this is what's happening with a lot of technology. So going back to the simple example of pen, when you have pen and a paper, you just write. So when it comes to Quran, for example, think about this. Quran was not written. It was not a written book. And when Quran was written at the time of Umar radiallahu anhu or Uthman radiallahu anhu, we only had 2-3 copies of Quran in the entire world, written copies, and not everyone can read them. For Quran to come in a form that you see right now, written in a beautiful script with the beautiful handwriting of Uthman Taha, may Allah bless his hands, it took us a lot of time and a lot of effort, guys. A lot of effort. So it's not an easy thing. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here, Quran, spoken words by Allah Azza wa Jal, we memorize them in our hearts. Whether it's you have it in a book or the book got banned, no. We give importance to the book, Quran, because the words of Allah are in that book. So that's why we respect it. That's why we wouldn't just put it behind our back or put it on the floor. Show extra respect. Yeah? Same, when you practice calligraphy, when the pen you use for calligraphy, show extra respect to that pen because you're using, and that's why, including newspapers, including random books, if you ever see them on the floor, you pick them up, because these are the same words that teach you, regardless of the language or the content. You see a newspaper on the floor, you pick it up. You don't just leave it on the floor, because these words, they teach you, they're like teacher to you. And so that respect is necessary, inshallah ta'ala. Wa alaikum assalam. Would be interested to know, I am making my breakfast and watching at the same time. Are lao chai lao yaar. Anda paratha bhi le aao. Yeah. Lao ji lao. Achar le aao parathe ke saath na. I got achar. Just bring paratha. Yalla, let's do Q&A. Q&A, bismillah. Wa alaikum assalam. Would be interested to know where you guys are from and what time is it that you're watching this. So I see a lot of you watching this podcast. What time is it in your place, and where are you watching this from? How to pronounce Arabic letter meme, ya Ustad? Watch a lot of memes. I'm joking. Meme. Both meme using your lips. Meme. For example, some. Yeah, some, both lips together. Okay. Someone watching this from Morocco. Congratulations, by the way. Your team did very well in the World Cup. California, 146. Oh, someone watching this from Morocco, same time as the UK. California, someone is watching this at 1:46 a.m. Oh, someone's username is called Live Awesome. Big up, Live Awesome. Live Awesome, well done, you're awesome. Someone is from Earth, it's 3:46 in their place. Let me guess, 6 hours ahead, India. अरे भाई कहीं तो इंडिया में हो गए आप, छुपा रहे हो ये हमसे. From Bangladesh, Pakistan, 2:46. India, some part of India, someone said 3:46, I'm guessing. Karachi, अरे भाई खराब बिरयानी ला दो हमें कहीं से. वो खराब वाली बिरयानी. Okay. I'm shy of reading Quran out loud in house. Any tips for confidence? See it. Try to understand. Try to see Quran differently. See it as if you are conveying a message, a very important message. Imagine I say to you, there's a fire in your house. You're gonna come to living room and say, everyone, there's a fire. There's a fire! Huh? You're conveying an important message, right? So Quran is a message. Now, whether people understand it or not, it's a message. And we resonate with this message. And so, you should think of it like that. And then when you represent Quran, you're not saying something, you're saying something that Allah said. So maybe thinking of it like this will make you more confident. Yeah? It certainly made me confident. I said, you know what, forget people. This is Allah's words and Allah enabled me to memorize them and Allah is giving me a chance to present it. So why should I think what people have to say? It's all Allah. Okay, someone from California, 447. Wow. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Now you guys must be special, man. Serbia, 1047. Wales. Okay. Right. Ireland, India, Afghanistan, but from London. Okay. Japan. In Japan is 1846 right now, which is 6 p.m. Japan, the first nation to see the sun. Huh? Well, see, this is so interesting, yeah? This is a good use of technology. We got all of you together, someone from Scotland, to learn Quran, which is amazing. Okay, I'm focusing on the questions, yeah? How do I bouncing letters? Maba is like an echo sound. You know when you're in the room, it's like my bad. The brother who is watching this at 447 is from North Carolina. Okay, the writing is this small and my English is bad anyway. Okay, what was the question? Bouncing letters. It's like a sound of an echo. Maba, maja, mada, maba, maja, mada, mada. You should not do matta. No, mata. So you say the letter and there's a slight echoey sound at the back. It's like an echo. Okay. Question. What if child reads better than parents? How to improve? I guess parents must be feeding some sort of thing. I read better than my parents. May Allah bless my parents. Huh? Nothing wrong with it. I don't understand the question, but yeah, if child reads better than a teacher, it's fine. Ustad, Ustad, I'm a girl and I love doing qira'at. It's not so good, but I like it. But everyone at home keeps on telling not to do so, as girls aren't supposed to do qira'at. So to answer this question, the reason maybe someone is telling you this because voice of a female is considered awrah in our religion. It's considered something so unique, so special that we preserve it. And so your voice should be displayed in a beautiful manner. I'm talking about females in our religion, in front of very special people. Not in public. And so maybe that is why they are saying this to you. Some sisters who have beautiful voice, all of that. So guys, I don't realize I'm live on social media. Someone's gonna take this video and and make something else out of it. So look, understand it like this. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter what you think. What should matter is what Allah thinks or what Allah says. If you and I agree that we care about what Allah says, not what we say, then we won't have problem listening and obeying Allah's command. Look, Allah will say, by the way, Madinah, thanks for the £5 super chat. Jazakumullah khairan. So when it comes to sisters, females, a lot of sisters would say, well, I'm covering myself. What's the problem? Oh, I'm just doing hijab tutorials. I'm just doing this. It's not about what you think. It's about what Allah thinks. So the sister here who asked this question, it's absolutely fine to recite beautifully as a female when you're among females. When you're in your house, your brother, your husband, your dad, it's absolutely fine. But it's not something for public, if that makes sense. And the only reason Islam does that, because Islam sees woman as something special. Yeah? Barakallahu feekum. And so, the word, let me not elaborate, that's it. That's all I want to say. So there's nothing wrong about it as long as it's done in the right way. I'll give you an example. For a guy, for me to read in a nice voice, just give an example. If I read Quran in a nice way to impress people, it's wrong. To impress people is wrong. So now I'm not going to go out of my way and say, oh no, why is it wrong? I do whatever I want to do. Barakallahu feekum. Yeah. Well, then you can do it quietly. Yeah, then you can do it quietly. Ustad, are there certain letters which are to be bounced? What are those? Qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal. Qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal. My daughter wants to know what's the best way to memorize Quran and not forget. Revise it. Don't just memorize it, revise it. I have an entire playlist on my YouTube about Hifz. You're going to find it very, very helpful. So if I show you my screen here on my YouTube playlist called Hifz. These videos are very important. Hifz is a concept. If people understand this concept better, they will memorize better. A lot of time people don't know how to memorize. So what is it called? Hifz. There's a playlist here called Hifz. Guys, tell me when you see it. So don't just memorize but revise. Here, Hifz. Also, memorize first thing in the day. Don't memorize later on during the day or afternoon or evening at night. First thing in the morning. So these are some of the tips. Yeah. Next question: if a children read better than parents, how to help child to respectfully teach parent? Sometimes it's better for parents to find a teacher who can teach them. Yeah, I mean, my parents would never learn from me. They will say, "Arey bhai, niklo yahan se, bada hai, hame bata raha hai." Huh? Yeah, they can, but they might want to get themselves teachers. Someone else. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Wa alaikum assalam. Can girls recite Quran without wearing hijab? Look, it's a matter of respect. So I'm not going to answer this question as if I'm a alim, as if I'm a scholar. This question should go to a scholar. But out of respect, for example, I wear hat when I read Quran. Out of respect. Do I have to? No, I don't. If I'm not, I don't. Out of respect, when I read Quran, I make sure that I'm wearing appropriate clothes. Got to put perfume on. I have my perfume on. I'm going to give you guys an example here. Imam Bukhari, yeah, who gathered most amount of hadith in one book. Imam al-Bukhari, every time he want to sit down and write a hadith, because he would hear it from other people and then he would write it down, he would do wudu, he would pray 2 rak'at to thank Allah for the blessing of doing this work. He would put perfume on, and then he would sit and listen to the hadith and write it down. No, I'm not saying everyone have to do this or do I have to do this. It's a must. Yeah? No, out of respect. So, should women wear hijab? Yes, out of respect to Quran. Out of respect. Yeah? Wallahi, strange world we live in. We live in a very strange world, wallahi. In the world we live in, doing something the complete opposite is considered wow. There was a time when people won't wear t-shirts outside. T-shirt. it's considered, people won't wear it outside because it's like, it's like you're not wearing anything. Respect. If Allah given you something beautiful to wear, to look nice, why would you walk out with just a shirt? But nowadays it's complete opposite. People think the less clothes they wear, the cooler they look. No, astaghfirullah. Against fitrah. This is against what Allah have put within us. Yalla. Can you recite Surah Al-Fatir? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi fatir as-samawati wal ardi ja'ilil malaikati rusula uli ajnihatin mathna wa thulatha wa ruba' yazidu fil khalqi ma yasha'u inna Allaha ala kulli shay'in qadir. We'll continue the recitation on my YouTube. Check out the video. I love you back. Jazakumullahu khairan. What perfume you use? I wanted to sell perfumes online, but choro yaar. Let me just teach Quran. Yeah. Guys, thanks for all the questions. I see a lot of questions here. But I have to end the podcast. Time is up. Tune in tomorrow. Dyslexia. Very good question. Sign. Let me answer this properly for you in the next podcast. Yeah, may Allah bless you. Because I had dyslexia and I still learn Quran. What's your YouTube channel? This is my username, Ustaz Hamza. You type it on YouTube, you'll find me there. Okay. May Allah bless you. Next session, inshallah ta'ala, might be sponsored by our user called Marwa. She will be sponsoring it, and we will be doing extra time then. Until then, we are just going to do an hour podcast. May Allah bless you all. May Allah bless you for your time, and may Allah put barakah in your time, because you are taking time out of your you're taking time out of your day to give time to Quran. So in return, Allah will put more barakah in your time. Remember guys, every time you make time for Quran, wallahi thumma wallahi, somehow your time increases. It expands. So when you take time out to learn Quran, to read Quran, never think that, I'm going to have less of time. You're only going to have more of time. Wallahi, you're just going to have more time when you do that. Yeah? May Allah bless you. Look after yourselves. And Assalamu alaikum. The podcast is going to be saved on YouTube. You guys can come back and watch it later if you like.